Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to start with a panel discussion. I know we all face challenges, right from the pandemic, where we were at not slight low, but too much low, to, of course, things having picked up. At the same time, we have different challenges, but what we do is find the right solutions. With the presence of our living legends who belong to this wondrous world of real estate and development, with decades of experience, they give us the right solutions. So let's begin as we have this very interesting panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, the moderator for this session, may we please put our hands together for Mr. Girish Chhalwani, our business coach for real estate sales and marketing, who shall moderate the session. Ms. Nidhi Srivastava, founder, Gravity Properties and co-founder, Vibe Services Private Limited, and Dr. Advocate Harshal Savla, Managing Director, M Realty. Ms. Sheetal Mandar, Dynamic MEP Consultant and Visionary Leader, to kindly join us for this panel discussion. Thank you.
Everyone, good morning. As
Morning.
Simran lightly mentioned that we face challenges when it comes to real estate, and with real estate booming in India, infrastructure growth, what is happening? My first discussion with, we'll start with Harshul. The first discussion is the way infrastructure is booming in India is real estate. It is opening new doors for real estate when it comes to investment, and in terms of coastal road, MTHL, multiple highways connecting multiple cities today, villages converting into cities, cities converting into smart cities. So do you see new investment coming to India?
Thanks, Girish. I think I'll start firstly with MMR. MMR, the population in MMR is almost equal to the population of Australia. Australia is 2.4 times in size of India, and we have a population in MMR, which is equal to that of Australia. It's more than the population of Sri Lanka. So, in terms of numbers, Mumbai alone has population which is higher than 70% countries in the world. So that is MMR for you. Now, in terms of real estate, more than 1/3 of India's organized real estate in terms of sales comes from MMR. So if you really look at it, more than 10 states combined do not cross the numbers of MMR when it comes to real estate. Now, with this kind of population and with this kind of real estate that you have, what is the infrastructure we have? So there is a 30-40 year catch-up that we are doing on infrastructure. And which is clearly now where we are having a $30 billion makeover that MMR is seeing. There are 14 metro lines which are coming up. There are 8 road projects. There are bridges, coastal roads. Everything's coming up at one go. So I think that will clearly be a catalyst, because when you have to move a population which is higher than 70% countries of the world, you need that supporting infrastructure. Yes, that will give impetus to a lot of untapped land in real estate. So there was a huge premium associated about locations in real estate, which sort of will wither out. You will, those days, and it's a very bold statement to make, one Mumbai, one price will not be very far, except a few catchments. And this will take a few years, maybe a few decades, but we will get there. And see trends, right? Central Bombay was at 40,000, today average price is 50,000. Borivali was at 5,000, today it's at 25,000. So you've seen 5x growth in Borivali, which is a suburb of Bombay, and Central Bombay really is not grown more than 20%. So that's the power which infrastructure will really provide, but it'll not be immediate. So a lot of people are saying Atal Setu is opened, so Panvel will straight away match Sivri. That's not going to happen. But yeah, I think in a few decades we'll get there. Overall, if you see the potential, and since the mood is Ram Mandir, I'll give you an example of Ayodhya. Combined tourists visiting the Vatican City and Mecca is 30 million. Ayodhya alone is expected to have more than 50 million tourists in a year. So we are talking of a growth which is more than established tourist location. So we are seeing growth, and this is backed by infrastructure. You have $18 billion pumped in terms of airport, road, rail connectivity. Today, if you go to Mecca, the nearest airport is 75 kilometers away in Jeddah. While if you are in Ayodhya, the airport is quite close by. So I'm just giving you perspectives in terms of real estate growth, and this is what infrastructure will really do to numbers. There were only 17 odd hotels in Ayodhya. We are seeing more than 150 coming up. This is the tourist potential. A couple of developers from Mumbai have already launched plotted development schemes, and they did not even wait for a week also. And that's the kind of growth we are seeing. So yeah, infrastructure and real estate have a strong correlate, and I strongly see in terms of real estate, this will really take the economy at a large scale, not only in tier 1, but tier 2 and tier 3 as well.
Thank you so much, Harshul. And this is one of the reason why I like Harshul on panel. I mean, हम लोग करोड़ों की बात करते हैं, he directly talks about billion, trillions, data, everything. Nidhi, what's your take on it?
No, I think I completely agree with him. I think there's a lot of changes which has happened in the real estate, I mean the recent real estate. If we look back, I think today the real estate contributes almost about 7% to the overall GDP. So which itself is a figure. We're expecting that by 2024 it will rise to about 15% contribution to the GDP. That itself shows a lot of contribution with the sectorial changes are happening, and because of which I think the economy is growing. I think the stability, I think just to add up, while Harshul has definitely highlighted on what kind of infrastructure, I think why all of this is happening is typically because of the so-called, I think, political environment which is very stable in India. I think demography which supports the kind of development which developers are looking at this moment. And it goes without saying that I think we Indians are driven by sentiments, our own culture, the kind of progress which we want to make, not only for ourselves but for our families. I think it's a very positive trend which has been observed currently, and it will continue to grow like that in years to come.
Thank you so much. While buying a house is sentimental, and developer, of course, look at location, they also look at the feasibility. I can guarantee you, Sheetal, being as an MEP consultant, we are all into real estate here, but Sheetal, I can guarantee 50% would not know what is MEP. I've been into real estate for 13 odd years into sales and marketing. I was educated about MEP 3 years back. Would you please highlight what is MEP and the importance of MEP in real estate?
So thank you for asking this question. Am I audible? Okay. So for the interest of people who really don't know MEP, so MEP is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting. So it is very important services what we provide. So if I have to explain you in very simple language, so like you appoint architects for any project, you have to appoint MEP consultants for designing engineering services. So we design all these services like our work start right from the inception of the project. So immediately after you appoint the architect, you have to appoint MEP consultant for designing all these services. So these services, we start from all the calculations like water demand for the project, electricity requirement for the project. If it is air conditioned space, then heat load calculations we do. So our engagement in that project is right from the inception till the project is completed and handed over. And we cater to very important aspects like life safety and comfort for the project. And when we are talking about all these changes, like mentioned about the growth which is happening, and definitely as a MEP consultant also, we are also trying to cope up with this high demand of services required, because this is very niche field, and you need very technically sound people working in this field. So for us also, like if you ask in my case, I have doubled my manpower within last 2 years. I have opened one more office in Pune recently to cater this need. And definitely in our design also, we have to make lot of changes, and we are seeing a huge changes which is happening in the overall working also. We are making lot of changes. Like right now, many developers are going for BIM, that is Building Information Modeling. So that we all are catering to, so that we can visualize the building before it is built, so we can reduce the clashes, and we can take out the proper quantities, and so that we can, build we can construct very fast. So all these changes we are doing, even in MEP wise, we are going for latest technologies instead of traditional cables like we used to have for 120 flats. Suppose we used to like put so many 120 cables in one duct. Instead of that, we are now using technologies like bus duct. So it's a very live bus bars in a small unit which are going in the ducts, and you are just taking tap offs from there. So all these latest technologies we are using. We are using prefabricated things so that the construction happens faster. So a lot of things have changed with this, and even developers are very much open for going for all these technologies, and we have seen a lot of changes because of all this growth.
Thank you so much, Sheetal. I can guarantee few of them would have still not got it because it was a bit technical, but I think we should get back to you on this. My next discussion.
I'll actually,
Sure.
sort of add to where, she was highlighting. The first professional set of professionals which came to highlight in real estate were the design architects. So, design was laid a lot of importance. There was the second league of professionals. The entire last decade belonged to liaison architects. Because, getting all these approvals, old DCR, usable carpet was their forte area. This decade and the coming decades will be of RCC consultants and MEP consultants and fire consultants. The reason is very simple. We had an FSI of 2, 3, how much you could build. Today, your average FSI in Mumbai is 6 to 7. You are making 150 meters, 200 meters high-rise structures at the drop of a hat. Every micro market has at least 30 buildings which are at 150 meters, 200 meters. Now the single most important point over here will be your services. Because the kind of plumbing you have, electrical you have, firefighting, we've seen so many firefighting incidents in the city. So many people have lost their lives. High-rise understanding of MEP is going to be the single most important point. And I think which is where clearly she mentioned she's doubled her manpower. I think she'll see exponential growth over there. Because with all these FSI growing, with high-rises growing, this is something which will be required.
Harshul, that was my next discussion. While everyone is expanding their business, we can see real estate boom, talk about sales, marketing, construction, other services. The major challenge that we are facing today, which everyone would agree, including all of you sitting here, is manpower, especially when it comes to a skilled manpower. There was a time, probably a decade back, if we need someone in sales, if we need someone in construction, it was easily available. But today that's not the case. So what could be the reason, and how industry will be able to overcome this challenge?
I'll see two examples. I think pandemic was the biggest game changer. Earlier, the entire focus of Indian real estate was tier 1 cities. So, 8 cities was all that you were really talking about, or, the focus was there. Today, tier 2 and tier 3 are the real growth engines in terms of development, because that is where development was never there. So, you have a lot of scope to do things. So, the labor which was coming from tier 3 and tier 2, because there was no work available over there, is sort of going back. Because ultimately, you must also keep in mind the cost of living in tier 1 is really offsetting the increased wage that one is getting. So the food and accommodation alone is accounting for almost 60% of what the wage they are making. So if they are seeing a better quality of life, which is available in tier 2, 3, which is where they are preferring to stay. Second, you aren't seeing really migration from tier 1 to tier 2. So I'll give you a stark example of Surat diamond boards, a very celebrated example which was touted to be the biggest office in the world, etc. The biggest player over there, the one who in fact Vallabhbhai, who actually envisaged the Surat diamond bourse, is the first one to leave from there. So, Kiran Jewels is back in Mumbai. And one of the major reason is a lot of people did not go back to the Surat diamond bourse. Of course, there is a contrarian theory that Bharat diamond bourse also, or the Mumbai diamond bourse also took really 15 years to grow back. But it's a big setback because the one who's envisaged SDB, Kiran Jewels, they are actually moving back to Mumbai. They had booked 1,200 apartments for their employees. They had moved with a lot of celebration over there. PM had inaugurated, and now they are coming back. So that really emphasizes the movement which is happening. Yes, your skilled labor is a major challenge, and which was faced by Kiran Jewels, which is also a major reason why they are coming back to Mumbai. But you see a lot of these construction labors, which is a major challenge, and it will increase, which makes a case for automation. So you are seeing a lot of cranes move on the site now for these high rises, and you will require much more of automation to happen on the construction side.
Nidhi, same issue that we face in sales and marketing as well. So how do you plan to overcome this?
Well, I would say it's not that this issue has arisen right now, and I think this has been always the case. And honestly speaking, what I feel is, say, when the skill set of certain category of employees grow beyond, of course, they would want to grow on their entrepreneurship more than being deployed still. So I think post-COVID, we have seen a lot of skilled manpower moving probably from a wage kind of a system to more of an entrepreneur. Yes, that has led to a lot of deficit in terms of talent, in terms of leadership, in terms of a lot of angles which we would probably see. But I think we still have like the factories of IIMs and ISBNs which are yet to construct a new league of leaders. I think there'll be a thrust which will come again, and corporates will never be dearth of any professionals.
शीतल, बाकी सारे डिपार्टमेंट में तो फिर भी मैनेज हो जाता है. हाउ वुड यू कोप अप व्हेन इट कम्स टू कंस्ट्रक्शन? Recently, I had a discussion with Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani sir also, and he mentioned the same thing a decade back when he was doing Powai, and labor were easily available. 500 की laborers की ज़रूरत होती तो 1000 available होते थे. They used to pick and choose. But today the scenario is the requirement is of 5000 और 500 भी easily available नहीं. ठीक है? So how, I mean, since because of construction, because of growth, India booming, there would be more construction happening. So how would you overcome this challenge? And I'm sure you would be facing the same challenge today as well.
Yeah, we all are facing this challenge. When we talk about professionals like us, like MEP consultants, structural consultants, architects, whoever you meet for meetings, they will talk about this. Do you know somebody in this? Everybody is talking about that, and we are facing this from last 2 years. Constantly, this problem is there. And so we have to keep on training people, definitely. And MEP being very niche field, for us, it's like college pass out engineers. We cannot adapt in our offices because the kind of knowledge they have is just theoretical, and we have to groom them to the level where what we work. So 6 months usually goes, minimum 6 months usually goes for getting them to basic level. After that, the actual training happens. But there's huge gap, I think. And what I personally feel is like what manpower we are losing here is of women. Because if you see our population of India, 49.4% are we women, but in construction industry, if you see, we are only 12%. And out of that, only around 3% are in technical and leadership roles. So this manpower, we are totally losing out. And even in this also, whatever this percentage I'm talking about, due to social responsibilities and everything, they get a career break after their maternity issues or whatever some parents are sick or some issues, family issues. They take break. And this total manpower we are losing out. So in our organization, we have started this initiative called second inning members. So we are giving opportunities to these females. They want to join back. We are welcoming them because they are already trained and just they had a career break. But we can always give them hybrid work culture and everything. And we are trying to encourage them to join back this incredible industry.
So with this, I think today AdSync as a company has already set an example, balancing the stage with 50% men and 50% women. So thank you so much. Harshal, my next discussion would be, I mean, since we are talking about trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, okay. However, still many people from India, many investors from India are looking out investment outside India. Especially, I mean, last year we saw Dubai, majority of buyers were Indians, followed by Russian and UK. Do you think this trend will continue, or because of probably MTHL, Coastal Road, Yamuna Expressway, because of this development, you would see these people investing back in India? What would be your take on it?
So firstly, it's a very proud moment that money is flowing in real estate. Whether it's going to Dubai, it's going to Mumbai, or it's going to any city in India. I think as an asset class, real estate is of preference globally. And this is a very strong trend which we are seeing over post-pandemic, and it is going to continue, are the clear indications. So that's really something which I see as a huge positive. What Mumbai or MMR is for India in terms of real estate, Dubai is in a global scale for real estate. So, you see a lot of capital coming in MMR from across India. You see similarly a lot of capital coming in Dubai from across the globe. So really the numbers and the way Dubai works is an inspiration to, NCR as well as MMR and the other cities, where you can really go in terms of quality, in terms of benchmark, in terms of professionalism. Of course, it's a two-way street where you need a lot of bureaucracy support and a lot of political support also to be where Dubai is in terms of practices, because there's a lot of dependency there. On numbers front, I think in India there is a frenzy right now for real estate. Look at the numbers of NCR. I mean, people are queuing up overnight. You are seeing billions of worth of real estate in a project which is flying out in 72 hours. And these are real stories. Godrej, DLF, all these people are really cracking it out. In MMR, what you are seeing right now is progressive growth. So there is a rise of demand, there is a rise of supply, and there is a rise of price point as well. So when these three things rise, and it's very rare in any market where demand, supply, and pricing, all three are rising simultaneously. And that is really the India story today. And this is very parallel to your financial markets. So we've overtaken Hong Kong in terms of being a larger, stock market. Our Sensex, I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches 1 lakh point. Nifty's crossed the barriers. So, and a lot of money from the financial capital is also coming into real estate. So you see all these startups getting billions of dollars, and then they put their money in luxury real estate. So that's where, the money is floating out. So I think we are seeing a very healthy domestic growth. In fact, I would say India's or MMR story or NCR story is stronger because there's a lot of local demand which is driving this. There isn't any speculation, there's no trading. It's really end-use demand which is driving this, which is very healthy. And as per, survey of Reuters, there is still a 19 million shortage of housing in urban level. 19 million homes are still in shortage. The only problem that you see is herd mentality. So suddenly, as developers, we often get carried away, luxury is doing well. So everyone down from south where we are till central Bombay wants to do a luxury housing. Suddenly you had affordable doing well, so everyone had a competition how small they can make the house. So to a point, 150, 200 square foot, how they got it approved, etc. People were walking to their bed or jumping on the bed as soon as they entered. I mean, those kind of stories were going around. So this herd mentality is something which is dangerous. Look at your micro market and back it with research. Now you have companies like CRE Matrix, you have companies like Lizers Forest, PropStack, Prop Equity. who will provide you with data about which micro market, what works well. I think if you cater to that gap, there is no worry for numbers. You could be in any micro market. Don't worry about supply. The problem is irrelevant supply which is coming up. A very same size supply. Everyone wants to do luxury. Everyone wants to do 3,000 square foot, 2,000 square foot homes. That is the problem. So whether your micro market really needs that. And that is a gap which if addressed, I don't think there's a problem with regards to, sales. They will continue to remain strong.
Nidhi, you do Dubai market. So, I mean, how Indians are moving their money out of India and going to Dubai? What would be the main purpose of them buying in Dubai?
Okay, I'll definitely not tell you how Indians are taking their money out because that's the secret of the trade. Let me confine that at this moment on the panel. But yeah, I mean, one very interesting fact is we've kind of only heard stories here in India that there are a lot of Indians who are investing. But let me just take you back a little from the real estate history as to how the real estate actually in India started. It started when, okay, let's take the example of when we got independent. The idea was more on accessibility, that you need some houses which are more accessible. Then came the era where it was 50s or 60s where there were bifurcation of land and some kind of civilization started happening around the rules, regulations. Then there was a chance in 80 where private developers started coming in, and then it was 90 where we saw diversification, we saw a lot of other changes happening around, and eventually hence a lot of I would say demand poured in for malls, multi-purpose, multi-use apartments or residential or commercial mixed-use uses. And now it is the era in 2023 when we see a spurt of the housing in terms of luxury, but yet all of this in India is driven by socio-economic factor, which means probably we still would want to live with our families, we would still want to have our houses in our native places or probably at the places where we are working. It's been driven by decisions made on, the affordability, mortgage rates and all of it. However, the investor who is purchasing in Dubai at this moment, and let me just correct here that Indians are not the largest buyers. Let me just tell you that. I think this is a very big misconception. In Dubai, Indians are not the largest buyer. The population of India is 143 crores. Let's not forget that, right? So the kind of demand or the kind of people looking at the real estate property in Dubai is immense in comparison to all the other countries like Europe or Russia, or for that matter, even the Middle East these days, or probably the Asian countries. The largest buying which is happening is by China and Russia. Indians, for this matter, are coming for the reasons which are not available in India. So the reasons like you have this is like a tax-free country. You have something like District 2020, which helps the traders to form the company for 2 years without any licensing cost. After 2 years, you can pay the cost of license and then you can kind of, you can. So, features like this is inviting a lot of exporters and importers to open their businesses, expand their horizon. And most importantly, the market of Dubai is not a market where probably you look for houses because you need that socio-economic comfort. People are looking for luxury, people are looking for tourism, it's a global economy. The architecturing today of Dubai is not directed towards how probably a community feels, an Indian feels or a Russian feels. It is directed towards probably the world economy, how the world architecture could be. So you get like a 101 floor tower, you probably would get your houses near the beaches. So it's all about living that. And the affordability of Indians have definitely grown to a next extent, and because of which Indians who are purchasing in Dubai will continue purchase in Dubai. But as I said, somebody outside also, I think it's the two choices one has to. And you insisted me to say that on the stage. Any person who wants to make money can go to Dubai, and any person who wants to purchase a house can stay here.
I disagree, and that's not the story with India anymore. I mean, Ayodhya is one of the best example the way tourism is booming in India, and Ayodhya people have seen returns of almost 20x in last 3.5 years. So that will continue. Sheetal, I mean, we've been talking about Dubai for long now. सब कुछ तो ठीक है, सेल्स हो जाएगा, डेवलपर आ जाएंगे. Burj Khalifa जैसे towers, like Nidhi said, 100 stories. I mean, why can't we see those towers in India in terms of like 50 towers, 100 tower वैसे भी होने चाहिए, at least 70, 80 stories. Couple of towers, yes, we have now in South Mumbai, few in other state as well. But many developers aspire, but they are unable to do it. Is it because of money? Is it because of permission? Or is it because of technology not available in India?
It's not definitely because of technology, because all technology is available here. And if you ask me, I'm right now doing 70-story towers. And this kind of projects are coming. And I think shortly you will see a lot of projects like this, because we ourselves are working on 34 million square feet, if you ask me. So a lot of development is happening, and you will surely see this kind of projects in India.
So great. So 100-story tower, probably 10, 20 towers in South Mumbai with a FSI of 6 to 7 will be a dream come true. And with one Mumbai, one price, probably we can also think about staying at Altamont Road. Yeah. So next, Harshul, we were talking about Surat Diamond Bros, and because of manpower issue and all other issue, I mean, these companies are moving back. Like this, there are many other cities, I mean, getting converted into smart city. We have seen Gift City. We have also seen Naya Raipur, which is getting developed. So these kind of small places are now facing trouble when it comes to economically reviving these places. तो घर तो बिक गए हैं, but वहाँ पे कोई रह नहीं रहा है. Probably they are shifting back to their hometown or shifting back to the larger cities. Do you think this trend continue happening? Because Pune was able to grow only because of IT. Pune का भी same situation था, but we are unable to see the same implementation in Nagpur for that matter, Nasik for that matter, Raipur or any other small state. So development is there. However, these kind of enabler which will help the development to sustain for a longer period is not there. So how, I mean, what would be the future since you would have a proper data for that?
So, I'm part of an association called CREDAI. CREDAI is a national association for developers. It's there in 26 states and 225 cities. 225 cities. There are 14,000 developers, which are the members of CREDAI. Now, if CREDAI has its chapters in 225 cities across more than 20 states, it implies that there is development clearly happening in all of these, because to start a city chapter, you need at least 30 developers to start a chapter, principally. Now, if you look at any city growing from real estate perspective and being inhabited by people and growing per se, you need three things. One is, of course, an organized development arm, which is now being made quite available. The second is social infrastructure. So if you don't have malls, if you don't have organized retail, if you don't have your movies and all your other forms of entertainment, it's very difficult for the youth to be connected to that city. So probably in that city, you might have elders. The youth will migrate again to a closer tier 1 city. And the third and the most important is employment. So you want to make money basically, and which is, if that opportunity is again not available in your city, for better prospects, you will migrate out. Fortunately, if you see and you talk with any organized retail player, they are seeing phenomenal exponential growth in tier 2, tier 3. So if you speak with anyone, they are very bullish on tier 1 from warehousing perspective. They are very bullish from a perspective of online retail in tier 1. But if you actually talk about physical presence of a retail store, it is clearly moved to tier 2 and tier 3. So which means the audience over there is consuming these products, and that itself indicates that the kind of population which is growing over there, labor shortages, is also indicating that it's getting re-employed in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So if you really do a conjecture of all these data points which are available, it showcases that whatever the growth story is there in tier 2, 3, or whatever was envisaged, that we will have more than 250 smart cities, etc., that growth is for real. It is tangible, it is visible. Remote working is further helping that cause. So from all of these perspectives, I think this will continue. It's very healthy because the kind of population which is coming in tier 1 cities, I don't think really beyond a point these cities can really take up this kind of population. I mean, it's difficult. From your infrastructure perspective, from your utilities, services perspective, we have such a beautiful landmass, and if it gets evenly distributed between tier 2, tier 3, I think that'll solve a lot of other issues that we are also facing, at the national level as well. So I think it's a very healthy trend which is happening, and this will continue with the political stability that we are seeing, because there's a lot of conscious effort being made. You have 100% FDI in tourism sector. So all your tier 2, tier 3 is seeing a lot of money getting pumped through cultural sites, through religious tourism, etc., in that route also. So that is where I see the growth engines will lie going forward.
Nidhi, do you see the same change happening, and will it affect the demand and sales in tier 1? I mean, if there is a development in tier 2, tier 3 cities, so will it impact the sales and demand in tier 1 cities?
Well, I clearly say no, because again, while the tier 2 cities are growing, and of course they should grow for overall development, I think we need to focus on one part, that the majority of the pre-sales which has happened from 6 major cities, and there were reasons to it. It was the infrastructure development, it was the industrial development, it was a lot of other things which was focused on. The tier 2 cities which are getting developed, of course, are a scope forward. I think I would categorize into two parts. That one are the grown-up city in the real estate, and they are taking a leap forward to the next stage now. And there are tier 2 cities which are trying to come to that level of tier 1 cities, which also have a separate growth path. I strongly believe that for our overall development, as we are envisaging that the GDP is going to grow and there'll be a substantial contribution, especially coming from how the private investors are funding now the Indian projects. About 4 billion was funded last year, and out of which 50% has gone in real estate. I think definitely India has a lot of absorption capacity in terms of investment, in terms of newer places. Again, and I agree with you about Ayodhya, about 20% or 10% rise in the prices, thanks to Ludha bringing up an absolute great investment of 1,200 crores. I think it looks like the focus of the government on the infrastructure is not only on the tier 1 with all of the changes which are happening, but tier 2 also. So I think it's a growth story for India. I think it's a story which we should be proud of as an Indian to be called off.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. Sheetal, while all the growth story is happening tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, होता क्या डेवलपर का सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज रहता है, लैंड एक्विजिशन कर लिया, उसमें पैसे चले गए, उसके बाद परमिशंस में दूसरे पैसे चले गए, और थर्ड थोड़ा सेल्स का टेंशन रहता है, मार्केटिंग कर लिया, कहाँ ना कहाँ पे ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम समथिंग लाइक हाइट रिस्ट्रिक्शन, समथिंग लाइक फ्लेमिंगो आउट ऑफ नोवेयर, 9-meter road, or some policy changes that hamper the feasibility of the project. और ये सब का एक ही जगह पे जाके squeeze होता है या corner cuts होता है, that comes into a quality. So as MEP consultant, what would you advise, or how developers should take care, I mean, this situation, क्योंकि वहाँ पे आके scope नहीं है developer को when he wants to complete the project.
Thank you for this question. We always have this tough fight with developers especially about the cost. So whatever technology we propose, we have to look at it in that perspective. We have to show, okay, if we go for this traditional thing, this is the cost. And if we go for this new technology, what is the cost? But right now, if you see in developers also, now next generation has taken over. And they are ready for the change, and they are brainstorming and looking at different technologies. And definitely even our rules and regulations are getting stringent. If you see our latest fire NOCs, they are taking care of a lot of aspects and they are making a lot of things mandatory. So they have to do this. So that is making us our life easy because we are able to convince in a better way because it is also written in fire NOC and they have to comply with. And I think fire and safety is something which you can't play with. You have to give, these are the basic things and you have to give it. And I'm sure many of the developers are doing this and we are right now not facing any challenges there. And cost, whatever is basic, you have to give it. There is no other way out. But yeah, always challenge is there, convincing, but at least the people with whom we are working with, we are happy, we are able to convince. Even my projects, which I'm doing in Mira Road, that kind of areas also, we are able to convince our clients to go for technologies like bus truck rather than going for cables, which is a fire hazard, you know, and people are accepting it and going ahead with it.
Great. Now, before I give this stage back to Simran, my last discussion would be on technology and automation that is happening in real estate. So, Harshul, I mean, you've been talking about it in your research and probably many other articles as well. So, in real estate, what do you foresee? मतलब आज से 10 साल पहले अगर किसी को डेवलपर को प्रोडक्ट डिज़ाइन करना रहता तो 4 चैनल पार्टनर, आजू बाजू के लोग और 4 पुराने क्लाइंट को बुला के 12 जन का discussion hota, but that's not the case anymore. Still, they prefer offline discussion with top channel partners in micro market to gauge the current trend. But how technology is evolving and how it is helping developer in terms of having a better experience in terms of feasibility, project acquisition, execution, be it redevelopment or a freehold land.
Great. So I'll tell you a simple example right from your land acquisition, where earlier people just acquired any particular micro market. Now there is a conscious effort of research being done pre-acquisition. In a very one line, I would explain to you how technology is really touching real estate is a simple soap. You know, you say a Lifebuoy or a Lux or any soap which is made, there's more than 50 crores that is spent on an average on market research. We are making a home of 50 crores, but how much money are we really spending on doing market research before doing, you know, the design of the project or before planning the project or the acquisition of the project?
I think वो आज भी mindset है हर्षुल को phone करेंगे ये report free में निकाल के दो ना.
So I think, you know, that is really, which is the starting step. And thanks to technology, today data mining in real estate is possible. There is data analytics where from RERA, from registered data which is available in public domain. So every flat that you buy is a registered document which is available. RERA puts out all the data across India really on the websites. You just need that AI tool which can map out all that data. And thanks to that, you can really get out so many insights, whether even it is worthwhile taking. It's like cricket, where, you know, you don't have to hit every ball for a 4 or a 6. They often, commentators applaud a well left also. So there are certain balls you have to leave. Similarly, there are certain plots which you should learn to leave. I mean, that tendency that I want to develop everything that comes to my office has to go out, and which is something where you know, technology will play a big role. I think if that is addressed, we have professionals and consultants who will really guide us on all the technology which is available for all other functions, including sales. But really, it's the start. And if you get the start wrong, you know, the others will not be able to cover up the blunder that you've already created at the beginning itself.
Nidhi, I mean, how do you use technology or how do you foresee in sales, especially when it comes to automation? On one side, we are facing manpower challenges, skilled manpower, or probably someone who is more focused, dedicated. And on the other side, technology is something gaining speed. So how do you implement that in sales and marketing?
Okay, interestingly, I think while Harshul has highlighted in a lot of design part of it, I'll probably speak my heart out as a professional when we sit in front of a lot of clients, or my guys sit in front of a lot of clients. I think AI has, at one point, if we see, has given the preferences. So, say individual preferences today, the customer can put forward his individual preferences. आज हमें वॉल इस तरह की चाहिए, डायरेक्शन ये चाहिए, लोकेशन ये चाहिए, vicinity of metro station has to be there, the temple has to be there. So all of this combined, he would just put up in an AI, and the AI will throw up the 15 projects which the preference could be, and that has made the life of a customer very easy. On the so individually, the person can actually now choose whatever his wish list was to identify few projects where he wants to be, thanks to AI. If we come to this side of the platter, where probably we are sitting this side of the desk, I think what happens is, in the real estate, it has been, and I think you'll kind of appreciate that, Girish, you have been also a part of sales. I think it has always been difficult for a sales professional to explain that he is right and he is honest. And the kind of product what he is giving is absolutely as per his choice. Despite of the brochures, despite of all the efforts, the customer would still have a doubt saying this thing, no, you are saying, but that's not true. And the ultimate weapon with the sales was, so we are the brand, right? So I think with AI, what has happened is, the sales have got a lot of ammunitions now where a salesperson can actually prove that how probably the apartment or how the overall project is going to be. He probably can explain that, you know, whatever he's explaining on a piece of paper is right, because you have dimensions, you have, you know, the whole lot of project is coming out the way he wants to. So it has empowered a lot to the sales side. It has empowered a lot of clients also from that side. You also talked about the blockchain. I think one identifiable difference which has happened, Girish, is AI has been since ages. We don't know this, but AI has been since ages. It's just that we are now adapting in the day-to-day life, day-to-day businesses now. But on the other hand, blockchain has actually not been understood by a lot of other people. Again, that is absolutely, I would say, an innovation. It's like changed how probably a real estate could be. I think, what's blockchain today in real estate? Blockchain in real estate is all about how you record and how you identify the data, how you preserve the data, and there is no problem of tampering. Nobody can tamper that data. Every document is available. There are smart documents which are available. So your leasing, your registrations, everything goes so transparent. So the customer is having a lot of transparency. I think overall, all these changes, technology has brought an upliftment to the real estate. Real estate, which was a very unstructured field, I think has become like a very structured kind of an institution or probably an industry today. I think this is too much empowerment to real estate.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. One statement that you rightly said, while sales people used to attend clients, सब कुछ बोलने के बाद जब वो doubt दिमाग में रहता था client के, तो वो एक ही चीज बोलता था, we are brand. I mean, I was employed with Lodha a decade back, and I remember this statement. I mean, I was the one using this statement. But recently, when it comes to automation sales, I'm implementing in one of the developer, from Navi Mumbai. From pre-sales to client, मतलब indexed app live हम लोग रखते हैं, so it is not something that we are tampering with data or inventory. Sir, ये available है नहीं है. That's how data is helping us, or probably technology is helping us in sales. Pre-sales, I mean, all digital marketing that we are doing, the way it is being automated, the time when lead is generated, the client get brochure, all the details immediately on his WhatsApp. अगर वो interested है, further inquiry कर रहा है, the feedback goes to Google and Facebook immediately on live basis. The time salesperson is attending, वो client sample flat देखा है कि नहीं देखा है, that get recorded, and all this data is getting stored in CRM, and hence the next round of marketing. So marketing cost, I mean, I was talking to Pramod ji outside. The marketing cost for few developers has gone to 5 to 6%. Direct marketing has gone to 2.5%. Trust me, with the entire implementation of automation, I am able to achieve a marketing of 0.75%.
Yeah.
So that's how automation and technology is helping me, at least in sales. Sheetal, how you are able to implement this technology in construction, and what do you foresee? I mean, since we also spoke about skyscrapers, MTHL, I believe I was able to learn that for the first time we are using Japanese technology where, we are talking about steel getting extended beyond the concrete walls. So I'm sure these would be similar technology used by international contractors as well. So do you see these kind of technology used by other developers, and also how automation will work in construction?
So automation is being used in construction from a long time. It is not recently. But if you talk about technical side, like we can divide it into designing. So designing may definitely now we are talking about AI in architecture. So for massive projects also, within 28 days, they are claiming they can give the drawing sets, which used to be like six months we used to talk about architecture plans and all. But definitely right now we don't have AI in MEP and we are still struggling with making a lot of drawings and taking too much time in and putting a lot of manpower doing this. But definitely we are using a lot of IoT, so Internet of Things. So that is something which we are using in our projects. Like I can give you a small example. Like for landscaping, you have a sensor where if you that sensor will detect if moisture is sufficient or not, and based on that only watering will happen. So because of this IoT based products, we are achieving sustainability also. So we IoT is a boon, and it's a tool how you can use it. So we are using it in a lot of products we are using, and a lot of in BMS we are using IoT, and we are giving more efficient and smart buildings now than earlier because of automation, sensors, and data analytics, what is available now.
So that I completely agree. Floor plan layouts ये सब तो बहुत easily available हो गया है. पहले 6 महीना लगता था. So recently I was interacting with House of Abhinandan Lodha. They are selling land. तो मैंने बोला यार मतलब I mean just inquiring it. So मैंने बोला यार लैंड बेच रहे हो, इस पे मेरे को अगर विला बनाना है तो उसका फ्लोर प्लान कैसा रहेगा. आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन 3 BHK टू गेट इट डेवलप. विद इन 12 आवर्स मेरा स्पेसिफिकेशन दिया हुआ बेडरूम साइज, लिविंग एरिया साइज, व्हाट दे वर एबल टू प्रोड्यूस. एंड व्हेन आई आस्क्ड हु इज़ योर आर्किटेक्ट, बोला सर वी हैव इन हाउस AI सॉफ्टवेयर जहाँ पे हम लोग आपका स्पेसिफिकेशन डाल देते हैं, एंड दैट AI गिव्स अस द layout, and that's what we share it with the client. So yes, technology is helping. Before we move to Q&A, my last topic, since we are talking about India being $4 trillion, $5 trillion economy, and forget about India, I think UP itself as a state is talking about being a $1 trillion economy. Do you think tourism is playing an important role, not only just Ayodhya but all other state as well? And will tourism impact real estate to tier 2, tier 3 cities or to metro cities as well?
So Girish, tourism contributes 7% to India's GDP presently, and which is very low if you look at a global perspective. 7% is also what Indian real estate sector contributes to GDP. So 7% Indian real estate sector with 250 plus ancillary industries is the contribution, and tourism alone. And we all know, various reasons why you see a lot of foreign tourists really coming in the country, but that still domestic tourism is contributing 7%. In India alone, right now, the number of airports have doubled up in the last 10 years. Your rail and road network has grown up 50%. Now, if you have airport, rail, and road connectivity which is available, so that is the most important connectivity point if you are looking to boost tourism. And now the last missing link is capital, for which the government is allowing 100% FDI. So you don't have that kind of limits even for the real estate sector, but 100% is tourism is allowed. So India is looking at a picture which is called Bharat, where you are really playing around your ancient cities and ancient towns, and you are reviving your entire growth engine by looking not only at a city from a socio-economic perspective, but there's a whole religious tourism, medical tourism, and spiritual tourism which is attached. And all of this combined, I would not be surprised if in the next 10 years, tourism will contribute 15% to India's GDP. And that'll be very easily achievable with the kind of last mile connectivity that is available over here and the kind of infra that is getting developed. So very exciting times for those in the tourism sector, and that is clearly seen by the growth of hospitality and the number of rooms that are getting available in almost all tier 3, tier 4 town cities, which are now getting really rebranded as these spiritual tourism places.
I seriously pray God कि आपकी ये wish पूरी हो जावे 15% tourism India should achieve, because eventually it will come to real estate and it will help a profession like us in sales and marketing. So Nidhi, I mean, since tourism would be growing, and as I mean Ayodhya or probably many other state, it's the best example that today also you don't find right accommodation. Rental एक बहुत बड़ा issue हो गया. I mean, we have seen rental soaring up by 30-40% and still the accommodation is not available. So how it will impact real estate in metro cities, and what would be the contribution towards real estate when tourism would be increasing year by year?
So first of all, it's a happy time for us. I think it's been ages when I think when we we were small, we've seen so much of tourism that time. I think it was Khajuraho, it was Varanasi, it was so many other places where we could actually see a lot of foreign traffic also coming down to India. Of late, I think few years down, it was very discouraging to see that probably the tourism was a little less in comparison. Even for that matter, Indians started going abroad because of the ease of traveling, because of factors which were probably, an international trip is so easily available. Countries like Thailand, countries like Dubai. So even the Indians who were trying to go out, they're only exploring the international destination. What is good is we've made a start now. Definitely, I do agree with him that it'll be a great time to see Indian tourism contributing 15% to the GDP, of course. But currently, I think we've just made a start. On a larger agenda, when you say that, would that make an impact on the real estate? I think that's far-fetched. I think we need to take one step at one time and one brick at one time. So what it means is, we have started on the journey of tourism with Ayodhya coming into play now. We all are very positive and it's a time for celebration. Yes, we do agree that there will be a splurge of a lot of tourism which will invite a lot of leasing, fluctuating rentals in Airbnb, hotels, people traveling. For us, I think it's the time when we have made the first start. I still do not agree with the fact that will that make a big real estate change? No, I think real estate is on a move and real estate is moving very fast. To relate maybe with a tourism might be very early at this moment to start with.
I think then in that case you need to really check the real estate prices in Lakshadweep now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
एक visit से मतलब tourism, real estate, Taj has landed, so that has really changed. I believe tourism will play a crucial role for real estate.
Yes, it should definitely play. That's what I said, that one step at one time. I think happy for the tourism happening in India.
Sheetal, with lots of construction happening, how a consultant like you or even the construction industry will cope up? I mean, without skilled labor, without probably developer implementing technology at large, how you will cope up?
So definitely we all are facing challenge of manpower, like I said earlier. But we are collaborating with different professionals and different agencies and trying to deliver to this added challenges. Because right now, if you ask me, we are we have to construct also so much. At the same time, what we have pledged for by 2070, we will be net zero. So for us, like MEP consultants, it's a balancing act because so much is construction is happening. You are adding to carbon footprint at the same time you are pledging for net zero by 2070. Lot of developers are pledging by 2030 they will be net zero. So for us, it is very challenging times when we are designing all these services. Definitely, that's why I said we are collaborating with a lot of people and we are trying to give our solutions.
All right, thank you so much. I thank all the panelists and hand over stage back to Simran.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Girish Chalwani. This was absolutely, truly a very, very important, at the same time, need of the hour, especially the topic. But I know the conversations went on for a pretty long, ladies and gentlemen. I think there is a huge roar of applause. Maybe please give it up for the moderator of this very brilliant session, Mr. Girish Chalwani, the business coach for real estate sales and marketing. I'm going to request all of you to step forward for a group photo op. Dr. Advocate Harshal Savla, Managing Director, M Realty, Ms. Nidhi Srivastava, Founder, Gravity Properties and Co-Founder, Vibe Services Private Limited, and Ms. Sheetal Mandar, Dynamic MEP, Consultant and Visionary Leader. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Bahut bahut shukriya. So thank you so much for joining us here, and we love this place, Taj Precedent, minus the traffic, but that's all across the world, so there's nothing to complain about that. Yes, sir.
I wish Harshal had asked and opened it to the public to ask a question. So now I think I can ask Harshal and Nidhi and Girish,
Ask everyone, not them.
No. They are the experts. They are the experts. So, one thing when you were talking of flight of capital from India to Dubai, according to the automatic route, $250,000 is allowed per person. And, Modi ji just softly banned, the celebration of weddings and all those kind of things outside India. He's saying that you must do it in India and keep the money in India. Yeah, so what happens in case something like this is installed for, investing in Dubai? As you rightly said, it is a trading place. It's not for a home. So if there is some, I will not say a ban, but if they recommend that, why don't you invest in India? Will the property prices go up further? If something like this comes up that invest in India and why do you want to invest there? यहाँ भी तो इतनी कमाई है. आप ही बोल रहे थे कि आप देखो 20%, 40% सब जगह भाव बढ़ गया है. तो उतना ही पैसा इधर भी मिल जाएगा.
Join us here. Whoever. सर अभी डिबेट मत चालू करो ना, क्योंकि सब आधे में फिर बंद हो जाएगा. अब डिबेट मत कीजिए, मुझे डर लगता है. मुझे पता चलेगा I'll be kicked out only. डिबेट मत कीजिए, प्यार से डिस्कस करते हैं. Everyone has a different perception and we respect that. हाँ sir, I know sir, I'm just kidding. हाँ, and you also had a point of view. Dipesh, sir, please go ahead.
So, hi all. Hi.
Sorry,
Good afternoon.
Just a sec. Sorry, guys, but the moment Arbaaz sir comes, please don't feel offended. I'm going to immediately take off because I need to rush too, just the way we all need to rush. So I'm just going to excuse myself and.
Okay, so since this is a beautiful real estate conclave, I'm going to ask Harshal and Nidhi that what is very, very exciting. Of course.
Okay, sir, there is two factors to it. Number one, understanding how things are happening on the payment side, because there are restrictions to transfer funds from India to Dubai. The kind of property payment plans which are designed by the real estate developers of Dubai are segregated in such a manner that the payments are restricted to only and only about 25, maximum 35% of the property value. However, if there is certain properties which are valued more, then of course there is a restriction and there is huge taxation, but government has also made some way out to take out funds via huge taxations as well as some kind of RBI guidelines and approval through bank. So that's absolutely true. While there is a restriction of transferring the funds from India, Yet, the government has given a way out in terms of, in case if there is an emergency and there the funds needs to be transferred, it needs to be properly declared. There has to be quite a high level of taxation which has to be levied on that, and several other declaration, but it is quite possible.
Thank you for this, and we understand that it is allowed. But my question is कि when there is a soft ban कि weddings नहीं करो, पैसा इंडिया में रखो, तो आप अगर आप ही बोल रहे थे और आप बोल रहे थे सर कि इंडिया में आप देखिए भाव कैसे बढ़ गए हैं एमएमआर में और सब जगह 20-40%, तो दुबई में भी आप ट्रेडिंग करेंगे तो उतना ही कमाएंगे ना, तो इंडिया में क्यों नहीं इन्वेस्ट करते हैं और वहाँ क्यों भेज रहे हैं पैसा? तो इंडिया में ही अपने प्रॉपर्टी प्राइस अपने जितने भी बिल्डर डेवलपर भाई हैं उनको ही 2 पैसा ज़्यादा मिलेगा, आप उधर की कंपनियों को कम के दे रहे हैं। हाँ प्लीज़।
जैसे सर मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था, आई थिंक इंडिया रियल एस्टेट इज, आई ऑलवेज से दैट इट्स फार बेटर, इट्स योर ओन लैंड, द मनी इज हियर, देयर आर ब्यूटिफुल प्रोजेक्ट्स, डेस्टिनेशन. बट एक चीज़ सब फैक्चुअल है, इफ़ यू वांट टू हैव इन्वेस्टमेंट इन दुबई, यू गेटिंग, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल डू इट फॉर पर्पस ऑफ गोल्डन वीज़ा. People do for residency because you get residency visa in as less as 1.7 CR today. So अगर आपको रेसिडेंट बनना है, अगर आपको गोल्डन वीज़ा लेना है, अगर आपको ट्रेड करना है, और या फिर और पर्पस बहुत सारे हैं, जैसे कि आपको when you want to have a business out there, I think that are the 90% reason why people invest outside.
I think it's a very fair answer. Thank you very much for educating us. And my friend here is launching a real estate fund 50,000 crore का, भैया उसमें से 5 crore तो दे देना मेरे को तू.
That's a good joke. Anyway, we've launched a fund. Size will vary as times progress. Okay, one very exciting aspect of real estate, since you touch many aspects, and it was quite a good conversation. I must congratulate both of you all, for this beautiful conversation. All of us who are present in this audience, everybody is part of this great gathering. One great aspect of real estate, which should be very, very exciting for all of us, is current turnover of real estate is 200 billion of India. As per Deepak Parekh's statement, Sir Deepak Parekh's statement is 1 trillion by 2030. And this was almost 8 months ago. Post this, what has happened before 2 days, I think this number is going to go really berserk. We are touching 5 trillion very soon. So very, very exciting times for all of us. Profits will be 5 times minimum or much more. So this is one aspect I thought, we should have really touched. Great infrastructure, great economy. We are expecting very, very happy times for all of us. I only tell everybody, just keep your horses tight. Keep your company's reputation top class. Money will flow in. And good team. That's it. Automatically things will happen.
Give you a number. China is one of the largest real estate market. Last 2-3 years have not been very great for China. Absolutely, all of them went bankrupt. There were suits of bankruptcies of developers, of banks, etc. In the worst year of China, the amount of real estate they built, the amount of real estate they sold. And ever since independence, India's got the best real estate year, right? We've seen all-inclusive growth in tier 1, 2, 3 cities, amazing numbers in NCR, MMR, all over. We are still less than 1/3 of China in its worst year with all of the bankruptcies. So what does this data actually indicate? The potential at which India has. And is a neck-to-neck population. So we've just crossed them. So this is simply the growth numbers that, one should look at, and the strong, promising story. And on the Dubai part, what Switzerland was for the world, 10 years, 20 years back. Very subtly, I can tell you that Dubai, so Dubai has replaced Switzerland in that sense. So, a lot of capital, which otherwise was floating to Switzerland and all these Cayman Islands, etc. Today, I think world has found Dubai as that location, which is where a lot of routing of capital is.
So, I want to answer Shyam's question. Why Dubai? Okay, since all of us know there is something called Gift City in Ahmedabad. I'm sure most of us have heard of it. So Gift City is an alternative to Dubai. So Modi ji's dream vision, And I hope and I pray that we have GIFT City in each state. So that is our answer to Dubai. That's it.
You saying Gift City in Ahmedabad? That's exactly where we have the Filmfare Awards on the 28th, when I'm going to be there. So I'm going to witness it first time. Wow. So you want to add something?
I have a question from Nidhi. Someone invested in Dubai from India, and if he wants to exit and come back to India, the monies, what are the implications on FEMA? What are the implications as per FEMA Act? Can you guide on that? Because many people are invested, but there is no exit door. So, कितना उसको फटका लगेगा ये थोड़ा सी आप करिए, because everyone is poaching a Dubai, invest in Dubai, that's fine. But there are, not everyone wants to invest there, but they, so this is my question, please.
सर निधि को आप है ना ऑफिशियली अपॉइंट करिए, पूरा पैसा वापस आ जाएगा. क्यों निधि? ऑफिशियली आपको अपॉइंट करेंगे, पूरा पैसा आ जाएगा.
So once again, Prashant would like to say something on this.
The question which Pramod Bhai just asked, I would like to add on that. That Dubai, as of now, as you rightly mentioned, it is, I would say, the second city in the world which people are going to. But yes, the reason that people are investing out there is people who want to stay there. Like how Russia is investing because they are not safe. They want to stay in Dubai because they feel safe. People from other countries, people from China is exporting because there are more opportunities there. Or India, because a lot of developers out here also are doing road shows. They are trying to market their the projects in India. For India, people, of course, who want to have a good lifestyle, as Harshul rightly mentioned, every Indian has a dream that they should have a home in Mumbai. That's why the Bombay real estate is always growing. Similarly, every person in the world would love to have a place in Dubai for their residence. So if you're having a flat or if you're having a villa for yourself, Dubai could be a good place. But for investment, if you're talking about ROI, if you're talking about the returns, or if you're asking about the exit, I believe, I have also been to Dubai a lot of times. I've seen mostly all the projects. But according to me, I may be wrong. But as an investor or as an investment, I don't think so Dubai is a greater market than Mumbai. Because Mumbai, I can invest how much amount I want. I can get an exit easily. From Dubai, getting an exit is difficult because I'm sure everyone is aware it's an open market now. The realtors, the channel partners, I am also one of the channel partners. So we get more incentives if I'm getting my investors invest in Dubai as compared to Bombay. But the resale is not an option at all. So if I pump in funds from India or any other country in Dubai, it is easy. But getting the funds back from Dubai seems difficult to me. Now I would like Nidhi to answer the question.
I think we are missing a point here. We're talking about the HNIs and the UHNIs who are buying property, who are going to be buying property in Dubai. They're not just buying one property. I think we're all are forgetting this is a second home concept. So what is being marketed in Dubai, I'm not going to sell my property here and just go back to Dubai and settle down. I'm buying my second property in Dubai. I'm buying my second property in Goa. So the second home concept, entire discussion what we were having today in terms of wellness, in terms of tourism. बच्चन साहब ने जो 17.5 करोड़ में जो घर लिया है लोधा में, वो यहाँ पे जलसा बेच के वहाँ नहीं जाने वाले हैं. तो सेकंड घर लिया है, थर्ड घर लिया है. और आई थिंक यहाँ पे हम थोड़ा मिक्सअप कर रहे हैं इन बाइंग एंड इन्वेस्टिंग. So people should understand this perspective that everything is just not investment. Let's not put gold is something where you invest. Real estate is something you want to enjoy, you want to live, and you want to enhance your lifestyle. That's my perspective. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm very happy to hear all of this because I think there seems to be a lot of gap in understanding of how probably Dubai would, or is it giving investment return, how to bring, you can bring the money back. The government never asks you not to bring the money back. It's just that you have to pay your own taxation because it is a foreign income which you have earned. And being a citizen of India, every income which you have earned either in India or abroad, it's taxable. So if you are ready to, say for example, you purchase a house in 1 CR and you're selling a house in as high as 1.8, the 83 which you have gone, there is no capital gain, number one. However, the taxation as per your taxation rule have to be implied. With my investor, so there might be like 83 investors who have invested with us now. They are of the mentality that they do not want to ever bring back the funds to India because they want to again rotate in the property business or out there in the global market. So it can be Dubai. From Dubai, they want to migrate it to Portugal. They want to migrate it to Greece, UK, US. So they are into global investing. When we invest, as I told in the panel discussion also, both the perspective are different. When you invest in India, you're investing for returns and for a lot of other socio-economic factors. When you take your money outside the world, you are trading. You're making from international and global markets what the best compliances are, what the best mechanism are. So while, this is such a long subject, can probably take 1 hour to explain you. But in simple word, technically, you can bring back the money if you can afford to have the taxation paid back to India. Legitimate.
Just to clarify and add what Nidhi was saying, is if you invest in Dubai and make a profit, if you bring back to India, you pay taxes. If you reinvest over there, then as per whatever Dubai taxes are, that much only you have to pay. So it is advisable to reinvest in that country and grow your capital. So when you are putting money over there, and the tax is pretty low right now, just 5% is just started. It's on but India is much higher. So when you bring back, you have to pay India's taxes. Otherwise, you continue in Dubai, keep reinvesting, rotating your capital. That's simple as that. Huh? Huh. So Indian market, there's nothing like Indian market. Let me tell you, my friends, as Harshul said, we are way back than China, and China is going down. This is our golden era. We have the best prime minister ever in the history, right from the freedom till today. And let's enjoy, let's support this government. And as I told you, just make a good team, have a good reputation in the market, you're going to grow. Whatever business you're in, doesn't matter. Real estate is one of the best sectors, but other sectors also grown to go exponentially, according to me.
But the best part is in India, in any amount you can invest. But in Dubai, definitely everyone cannot invest. So I think India is the best opportunity to invest. Even for the 2-tier, 3-tier cities growing now. So I think future is Pune, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, I can say Indore, and now the Ayodhya. So I think 2-tier, 3-tier city is good to invest. This is my observations. Thank you.
अरबाज भाई किधर हैं यार? कब तक हम बात करेंगे इधर? दीपेश भाई आप भी बात करो यार. नहीं, निधि को सुनेंगे थोड़ा. No, we are going back educated definitely with this team that
and all of you are experienced in this. I think we have not discussed about the way the Indian real estate is getting institutionalized. So we have a lot of we didn't talk about the subject about fractional ownership and REITs. I think this is another big change happening now. And that is going to be investment. So Arshul, we have been discussing about fractional ownership and REITs, which is opening up the doors and the gates and the windows for retail investors not to take part. So I think that would be a perspective where both of you can share your thoughts on. Thank you.
REIT is a subject which is very close to my heart. That was a topic on which I had done my PhD on, and also I've authored 2 books on REITs. For those unversed with REITs, it is very similar to mutual fund. So in mutual fund, if you give your money to the fund manager, the money is invested in stocks. In REITs, if you give the money to your fund manager, it is invested in income-generating real estate. So income-generating real estate is nothing but real estate which is leased out. So it could be a hotel, it could be a hospital, it could be an office space complex, it could be a mall, it could be a service apartment building, it could be any real estate which is generating income. This is a 60-year-old concept which originated in USA. So almost 80% of real estate in US is held by REITs. In India, it is 5 years old. So we have 3 REITs which are successfully listed on the SEBI, both Sensex as well as Nifty. SEBI takes care of the entire REIT mechanism. So this is, you have the Blackstone Embassy REIT, You have the Mindspace, again, Blackstone has backed it along with Raheja Corp. And then you have the Brookfield REIT, which is there. So you have these three REITs which are already there. Principally, instead of listing your entire business as a real estate company, you can choose to list a project. So REIT is nothing but your project, which, for example, you've made an office space complex. You can, lease it out and then list it out. So because there are challenges while you are listing your company today, right now, real estate companies are doing very well when they are listed, but the experience of last 40 years hasn't been that great because one bad project, one wrong land call, and the entire company's valuation on the stock market takes a beating. Also, every 3 months, reporting to the stock market about your growth in real estate is difficult. You close your eyes, you open, and a quarter washes out in real estate. So very difficult to match up to how your FMCG companies or durable companies work. But nevertheless, REIT is a great avenue for individual investor. Now today, imagine if you want to buy a pre-leased property in Mumbai, where we are, you would need at least a couple of crores, at least 4 to 5 crores to buy a small real estate which is leased out. God forbid that goes vacant, you have to chase a lot of brokers to either lease it out again or dispose it out. There's liquidity issue. Now with real estate REITs that are there, real estate investment trusts, even with a capital as low as 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees, you can put your money on a leased out real estate. You will get 90% of the rental income to you in the form of dividend. This dividend comes to you tax-free because it's already taxed at the entity level, and you can enjoy, and whenever you want to dispose this off on the stock market, you can dispose of your asset by a click of a button. So it gives you an advantage of shares. At the same time, it gives you regular rental income. Your capital requirement is not much more. Today in India, the biggest challenge is REITable assets, because in India, we still have a trend to sell commercial real estate on a strata basis. So we have a trend of selling 5,000 square foot offices, 500 square foot offices. No one really is building grade A commercial real estate which is REITable. But those trends are again changing. We are in the financial capital of the country and quality REITable assets are coming in. India is just at the start story of REITs. So we just have for office space complex, we just have 3 REITs. The future is large. You will see warehousing very easily adapting to REITs because that is where your returns are really high. You will also see a lot of these malls converting into REITs. So during the pandemic, Prestige, really sold a huge portfolio of its malls, more than 24 malls that they had in their portfolio. They disposed of to funds. Ultimately, funds will have an exit in the form of REITable assets. So REIT is a concept which is extremely safe, secure, and regular income generating. And I think that's the way real estate investing will evolve in our country. Thanks. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much to our distinguished dignitaries and our VIP guests and our esteemed jury, Dr. Shyam Singhania, Dipesh Setsa, thank you so much. And to our very distinguished panelists, I'm going to request you kindly take your seats. Thank you, Nidhi and Harsho.